They advance with AI solutions and how they're approaching the modernization side of the business. It allows us to kind of be a partner that is modernizing with our clients and growing with them as well. We need to make sure we're staying on top of what our client needs are, and this helps supplement what we can do for the clients and just keep them for the long term.
Hey everyone, it's time for another Partner Choice Award. This initiative brings together trusted partners and their favorite ISVs to work with real-world success stories. Today, I'm excited to have Stephanie McCauley from Crestwood Associates, and she has nominated V Technologies as one of her top ISVs to work with. So welcome, Stephanie, and I'm so glad you're here to talk about V Technologies.
Yeah, thank you. I'm excited about this one. Let's get into it.
Yeah, so we're going to have a few questions for Stephanie to answer. And so what we're going to cover first, why does Crestwood trust V Technologies and the solution that they provide you and your customers?
Yeah, I think this is a great one, and it's probably one of the most important. The trust factor is huge. So several years ago, we did a little research. We were dealing with a little bit of some attrition in our client base. And as we dug into the reasons for it, because it was an abnormal hike or a spike in attrition, what we realized was about 75-80% of the issues we were dealing with were actually related to integrations and third-party solutions. And they had just gone sideways. The projects had gone sideways for one reason or another. So we took a step back and we asked ourselves, how are we vetting out the ISV solutions that we're partnering with so that we can protect our own client base and the attrition side of our business? And so what came out of that was a really robust program where we specifically look at the ERP solutions we have, in our instance, Business Central and Acumatica, and we look at where the typical gaps in the solutions are that require an ISV. We identified our priority relationships, and then what we did is we put together sort of a ranking structure to look at what does their solution do functionally, how does their implementation work, and then what does the support and long-term side of that implementation outcome look. And what that does is it allows us to essentially build out a structured partnership with a functional product that we know we can depend on, that has continual support, and allows us to work one-on-one with an ISV solution that makes sense for our internal client needs based on the gaps in our ERP. So it's a pretty methodical process. But one of the reasons that we chose StarShip was, number one, we run two sides of our business with Business Central and then also Acumatica. StarShip actually runs on both of those for shipping solutions, which is perfect for us because now we've got one partner for multiple needs. But they were also actually able to run through the functional diagnostic with our services team to say, yes, this product does exactly what it promises to the clients. And they had a dedicated support mechanism in place for us where if something goes sideways in an implementation or post-implementation, we have immediate contacts on our accounting side, our customer success side, and our consultant side. So we have multiple points of contact for escalation issues or just general support issues. And so that all together builds the trust relationship that we have with StarShip, and it's one of the reasons I nominated them specifically for this.
I love it. Yes, I feel like that's huge to have something in place like that because, like you said, there are so many ISVs out there, and I'm sure not only are you being bombarded with all of them, but so are your customers. So you really have to try and pick the ones that make sense, that fit your needs, your customer needs, that has all the things in place, that does the support, does the implementation, work with more than one ERP. So I feel like having that process in place really helps, and like you said, that attrition too. So that's so important.
It's true, and not every ISV is needed depending on our client base. And I think that's one of the most important things is you start to get down to minimal effective dose. And so with StarShip being a shipping solution that many of our clients need, it's kind of a no-brainer.
Exactly. So let's talk a little bit about how their shipping solution does help your clients.
Yeah, so one of the things that it does is it's going to extend the ERP functionality. And so a lot of times ERP systems don't necessarily cover the business needs out of the box. And so specifically when it comes to shipping and logistics automation, what we've noticed is that without custom development, it essentially can't be solved for our clients. And so one of the things we can do is use StarShip to plug in and automate a lot of the shipping and logistics that our clients are doing manually, or maybe a little less automated with the current ERP solution. solution. And so it allows us to be a little more modern in our approach with them through automation, and also as they advance with AI solutions and how they're approaching the modernization side of the business, it allows us to kind of be a partner that is modernizing with our clients and growing with them as well. So it's a great partnership for the future if you think about it that way.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely want to see it for the long haul.
For sure. Yeah. And the operational improvements that the clients get from it, faster shipping workflows, fewer manual errors, which I'm a huge proponent of. Manual entry, I'm on a mission to eliminate it. And just better visibility into orders and logistics and shorter order to cash cycles. Those are kind of the biggest things I think I would call out with how they help our clients see the true gain from the implementation of their solution.
So speaking of implementation and support, I know you mentioned in the process of picking ISVs, that's a huge component. Could you talk a little bit about how they have their ease of implementation and support when you bring on new customers?
Yeah, one of the things that we do when we bring on a new client is we assess their environment and we see where their common friction gaps are, and usually those exist in workflows. And so when we look at those workflows and we build out what that pattern or what that process flow looks like, we can identify in there where shipping falls into fill the cracks for us. And so at that point, it makes it really easy to know exactly where they fit into the implementation project milestones. And we're able to share that project plan with them, show them where exactly they come in to support that part of the solution. They're in and out pretty quickly because we've set up the partnership plan pretty simply, and they know exactly how we work as a partner because they get to see the project plan. They understand what the outcomes need to look like, and I think we've just set a really great basis of standards with them. But also they make it pretty easy for us to be a little bit less hands-on with it because they take care of the solution outside of what we have to configure. And so that's kind of nice too. From a partner side of it, we're configuring and creating so much on the ERP solution side of it to not have to specifically configure their solution and do that part of the heavy lifting is a big win for us also.
I bet. And I like how you keep them on the same page, right? As you're going through this whole process, everybody knows what's going on from both sides. So everyone's in the loop and no one's in the dark. And that definitely helps make it that much easier for everybody.
It's true. I call those stealth expectations. It's when you're expecting something of a partner and they don't show up and do it, but they didn't know you wanted it in the first place. It's really helpful just to have the plan in place. Everybody knows it. And that's part of the vetting process that we do with ISVs and that we did with B Technologies, StarShip in this case. And it's just really worked out well for us.
Awesome. So to wrap it all up, what do you think is the value they truly bring to your business?
Sure. Well, one of the things is when you get a client, you want to keep a client. So for a VAR like us, we want to get clients. They help us do that because we're able to fill potential gaps that the ERP could be showcasing through demos and conversations, especially when we're in competitive places. So if we're up against a competitor who maybe offers that shipping and logistics solution out of box, we're able to show a really nice solution for it with a nice tight partnership. But then also keeping the client. I mentioned the attrition. We need to fill gaps. We need to make sure we're staying on top of what our client needs are, and this helps supplement what we can do for the clients and just keep them for the long term. It's way cheaper to keep a client than to get a client, and we appreciate that very much.
Yes, I bet.
Yes.
Always want to keep the clients, that's for sure.
That's true.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Stephanie, for nominating V Technologies for the Partner Choice Award and sharing all the insights and how you liked to work with them and ISVs, and truly do appreciate it. So with that, we will wrap it up, but thanks again.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks.